Mamedov resigned versus Carlsen over 1g5 mockery, quote unquote. Ralph Mamedov has explained his decision to resign after one move against Magnus Carlsen in a chess.com title Tuesday as a protest at the move 1g5. He says if a young Garry Kasparov or Anatoly Karpov tried that back in the day, they might have been beaten up. Okay, wow. Okay. So yeah, just think about the old Soviet days in a chess club. Garry or Karpov try to play try to play g5, you know, like 10 people are gonna take them outside and beat them up. Okay. All right. 5-time, by the way, just to note, I played g4 g5 every game in title Tuesday today, just to be clear. 5-time Azerbaijan chess champion Ralph Mamedov was leading the early title Tuesday tournament on chess.com on October 11th, going into the penultimate round and had white against Magnus Carlsen. Ralph played 1e4, but after the reply 1g5, he simply resigned and quit the tournament. Exactly. Yep. There was immediately speculation that Ralph was giving Magnus some of his own medicine for the resignation after move 1 against Hans Niemann. But Ralph has now explained that it was all about the move 1g5. Magnus played the move in all his black games with black, including in the crucial encounter against Hikaru Nakamura, who began with 1a3 and went on to win. Now, of course, I played g4 and g5 every game today, which makes this even better. Okay, here we go. There's a tweet. Incredibly, Magnus Carlsen opened with 1g4, 1g5 in every game with one exception below. This after having missed the first round. He finished in third nevertheless. Now, I wonder what chess.com decided to tweet about me today, because I played g4 and g5 every game and I got 10 points. Unfortunately, it was only good for second place, but it's still a very good result. So I wonder if chess.com has tweeted yet. Anyway, they show my game, whatever, who cares. Hikaru went on to win the tournament with 9.5 out of 11, while Magnus, who started a round late, finished third behind Jan Krzysztof Duda, who also finished on 9 out of 11. Ralph Mamedov explained his decision to Ilya Levitov in an interview reported on sports.ru. You make the move 1e4 and you get in reply 1g5. Your first reaction. Ralph Mamedov: if even Nakamura played like that, okay. I was unaware of this, but this is great considering that I literally did this earlier today. But when Magnus does such a thing in a weekly tournament, I repeat, title Tuesday brings together strong lineups. Everyone comes to play chess and some can earn from it. And then 1e4 g5. Well, I decided not to continue. If you've come to make fun of us, then without me. I don't consider myself to be in the right and so on, but I definitely don't want to take part in something like that. Okay, why is it okay with me? I don't know. That seems kind of weird. Now with the calm head, does it bring any associations? Now with the calm head, does it bring any associations? Yes. Imagine a very young Kasparov or Karpov comes to the Central Chess Club in Moscow. Against him is a 2650 Grandmaster, and he plays 1e4 g5. Well, they beat you up. Okay, that's pretty funny. Okay. How much did you think before clicking the resign button? By the way, this wouldn't have happened because a very young Kasparov or Karpov, they were like heroes of the state, and if you did that, you would at the very least be headed to Siberia. So I'm pretty confident that would not be the case. To be clear. All right. How much did you think before clicking the resign button? A couple of seconds, but I'll reveal a secret. I knew that Magnus sometimes plays like that. It was already his second title Tuesday, and I promised myself if something like that happens against me, then I'll resign and quit. And unfortunately, it happened in the 10th round when I was first. That made it hurt more. Okay. Did Magnus or the spectators or admins write something in the chat, or you immediately left and didn't see? I don't know. I left immediately. Philemona from Crestbook wrote to me asking why I left the tournament. I answered that because of 1g5. And on Wednesday morning, the journalist got in touch and told me that after the case on chess.com, I'd almost been banned. What would be your reaction if that happened? If I was banned, I don't even know, but realistically, I can imagine it. All right. How much did you lose? What was the first prize? Well, it's not a fact that I'd have won after 1g5, but first place in title Tuesday is $1,000. Second is $750. Okay, fair enough. On the internet, people began discussing the strength of the move 1g5. Keep in mind, you guys, today I played g5 I think in 5 or 6 games, and I scored a perfect score. I scored 100% with g5. So I went 5 out of 5 or 6 out of 6 with g5. So it's a very, very strong move, and I highly recommend that you start studying the theory behind it. On the internet, people began to discuss the strength of the move 1g5. If you leave aside the element of disrespecting your opponent, how weak is the move itself? Halifman noted that mathematically it's the weakest, and Stockfish 15 gives white an advantage of plus 2.3. Okay. I think the move is very bad, and over the board blitz, Magnus definitely wouldn't play like that. Now, you know what's great about this is what happens if Magnus does this against Ralph in like a world blitz championship. What will Ralph do? I'm not sure what he would do actually. Why do you think Carlsen plays like that? Is he really teasing his opponents, or is he just bored of playing on equal terms? It seems to me that he's insuring himself, Carlsen, the world champion, so that if he doesn't win the tournament and we're used to him always being first, then he didn't win because of 1G5 or 1G4. Oh right, if it happened over the board, Mamedov would he'll beat Magnus up. Oh man, okay. Good stuff. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Will the story somehow influence your future chess relationship? I don't have any relationship with him, and I won't stop respecting him as a chess player and world champion. It simply seems to me that you can't do that, even if you're so much stronger than the rest. As for possible future encounters at the board, I don't play him often. Would you like to add anything else? The main thing is that I'm not trying to teach anyone. It's my view, and I don't want to impose it on anyone else. But the move 1G5 in a prize tournament, moreover when it's made by the world champion, is wrong. Okay. There are always more expectations from a game against Carlsen than from anyone else, but instead of that, mockery. Okay. Magnus Carlsen has made a habit of playing offbeat opening moves, including when the stakes are high. Back in the 2012 World Blitz Championship, he played 1A4 against Timur Radjabov and won, and he's done similar things regularly online. He won $12,000 in the 2020 Banter Series final after starting 1F3 and 2 King F2 against Wesley. So, which of course also very disrespectful, right? Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful by Magnus. He should be taken outside and beaten up, right? Okay. Wow. Magnus explained he'd done it partly as a joke to give his friends a reason to tune in, but it also had a powerful effect on his opponent. Wesley lamented, "It's just so hard to forget the game when someone plays F3 and King F2 and just crushes you. That's just so humiliating." There were some complaints on Wesley's behalf. Douglas Griffin writes, which was surely just what Carlsen had in mind, whereas if so had crushed him, everyone says, well, what do you expect after an opening like that? P.S. I guess I'm old-fashioned, but I'm not a fan of attempts to humiliate the opponent. Wow. Okay, Magnus takes his offbeat opening seriously, however. During this year's Chessable Masters, he commented on playing 1H4 against Wei Yi. I think if you're going to play a weird first move, it's no less important to be well prepared, so I kind of knew which lines it's possible to go for, where it's a bit less of a liability than in others. Obviously, it's not a great move, but it seemed to work very well. I think he tried to play it a little bit too superficially, maybe, and he quickly ended in a pretty unpleasant ending. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, all this seems pretty normal so far. Wait, here we go. Magnus did say back then that 1G4 is a lot worse than 1H4, but when he returned for the evening title Tuesday on the same day, he kept playing the move and took clear first with 9.5 out of 11, ahead of Vladimir Fedoseev and Eric Hansen. What do you think? Did Magnus cross the line, or is playing junk openings just a part of the modern game? Yeah, how dare somebody tries to have fun, right? I agree. How dare you? It's not okay, right? Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, he's having fun, he's playing it. If you can't beat him when he does it, that's your own fault. Like, when I played A3 and he played G5, I beat him. Like, if he's gonna play junk, just beat him. If it's so bad, just beat him. If you can't beat him, then I mean that's your own fault. That's your own fault. I mean, my attitude towards Ralph saying that is very simple. Well, obviously, you think it's a terrible move. You think he shouldn't do it because he's a world champion. Fine, then just beat him. He's giving you a chance to beat him and win your $1,000 and get first place in Title Tuesday. Just beat him.